Nissan is one company which has been working on alternate fuel vehicles and specially battery-operated electric vehicles for well over a decade now. It was in 1997 at the Los Angeles International Auto Show that Nissan first showcased its electric vehicle, the Ultra. Eventually, about 200 units of the Ultra were built and sold. And in fact, it took them almost another decade before another electric vehicle codenamed the EV11 was finally commercialized and came to be known as the LEAF and launched in December of 2010 in the US and Japan. The word LEAF is actually an acronym for Leading Environmentally Friendly Affordable Family Car, and this is in fact exactly what the LEAF is today. For many years now, automobile manufacturers have been struggling to find a solution to conventional fossil fuel. Conventional fossil fuel obviously has its disadvantages. Sometimes it's very expensive, and the main reason is that it's just not environmentally friendly. So millions of man-hours and billions of dollars have been spent on the research, but unfortunately very few commercially viable alternatives have emerged. One of the few that has emerged is this. Nissan has been at the forefront of developing this technology, and what I have with me is a fully electric car, the LEAF, which has gone into production a few years back and is actually sold now as an electric car. Today I'm going to jump in behind the wheels and really see what an electric car feels like. The LEAF is a 5-door hatchback and is immediately recognizable by its distinct styling, with large low-beam LED headlights which consumes less energy than halogens and splits to direct the airflow away from the door mirrors and makes it more aerodynamic. Even the bottom of the car has aerodynamic paneling to further reduce drag, and this makes the LEAF one of the most aerodynamic cars with a coefficient of drag of only 0.28. In fact, the main effort here has been to make it more efficient in terms of energy consumption as well as wind resistance to ensure that the LEAF becomes a miserly consumer of all power that the lithium battery produces. If you step inside the LEAF here, you'll be hard put to tell that there is any difference between this and any other conventional car. It all looks very same and familiar, except when you look at the instrumentation. Instead of showing a conventional fuel gauge, it shows you the battery discharge. But other than that, there is hardly any difference. This LEAF here is positioned as a big hatchback, so obviously it comes with all the frills that you can expect from a car in this segment. Leather all around, steering wheel, leather-wrapped seats. In fact, not only leather-wrapped, it also comes with heating. Multifunction buttons on the steering wheel, a touchscreen display here with climate control. The LEAF here is positioned as a bigger hatchback, and if you were to expect all the frills that you would from a car in this class, then the LEAF has pretty much everything that you want. The electric motor in the car is powered by a set of onboard lithium batteries, which of course gets recharged by plugging into an external power source, and each driving cycle is of around 150 kilometers. But depending on how you drive and the speeds, the range can also vary a bit and can go up to 200 kilometers. And every time you use the brakes are regenerative and charge the batteries. Each full charging cycle takes about 8 hours, and the biggest challenge of course in the development of electric cars have been the battery life and the range, and somehow the LEAF is one of the first electric cars which has overcome this shortcoming and meets the threshold of acceptability in terms of viable driving range. Currently, the cost of the battery is very high, but over time the cost is expected to come down, and so will the cost of the car, giving a boost to electric cars of the future. At present, Nissan offers a guarantee of 8 years or 160,000 kilometers of driving on the battery life in the US. But with proper usage, the battery life can go up to even 10 years. And of course, in terms of everyday cost of running the LEAF, it is one of the cheapest, with the cost coming to a little over 2 cents per kilometer. First start driving the LEAF, the first thing that strikes you is the complete absence of any kind of sound. The cabin is really quiet, but then that's pretty much normal for any electric car. But that's where the dissimilarities end. The Leaf really drives well. It drives like any other conventional car. Once you press the pedal, the power really comes out. It doesn't feel sluggish, it doesn't feel slow, it's quite smooth and it accelerates very easily. The top speed on the Leaf is about 130 kilometers, which is good enough for everyday driving, even on the highways. The engine here is mated to a single-speed transmission, just with a drive function and a reverse function, which again simplifies things. It makes the car very easy to drive, especially in city traffic, and it doesn't really need any other input other than pressing the accelerator. The Leaf is set up quite well in terms of the suspension. The ride is very nice, so again it makes it very easy to be driven on an everyday basis. And there is plenty of space. It has got all the gizmos that you might look for in a bigger hatchback. So this is one car which is actually very usable. I feel it's a big pity that we will not see too many electric cars in India in the near future because we don't have the infrastructure. Electric cars is actually the solution to many things. Pollution, a lot of foreign exchange that we pay to import the crude oil, and of course, no noise. And this is where the future of motoring is headed to. Cars which are quiet, cars which are efficient, and cars, of course, which are cheap to run. And all this without really compromising on the performance bit. And this is what the Leaf is. In fact, it's a really nice car.
Till date, over 158,000 units of the Leaf has been sold, with the US almost accounting for almost half of them, followed by Japan. In Europe, it is Norway which is the biggest consumer, followed by UK.
After having driven the Leaf, all I can say is that it makes me very happy to see that years of efforts to find an alternate fuel has really paid off. The Leaf here is not on par with conventional cars. It is better than conventional cars in every way. It's really drivable, it's cheap, and it's zero pollution. The only limitation it really has is that it has a limited range of 150 kilometers, which I think with the battery technology improving, this should soon be extended. Unfortunately, as I said, we will not see this in India very soon because we don't have the infrastructure to charge electric cars. But one day, I hope sooner than later, we will develop an infrastructure for electric cars. And if that happens, I personally would be too happy to drive a car like the Leaf here.
The Leaf is priced at around US $22,000, and in India, if regular duties are to be applied, the landed cost will come to something around rupees 30 lakhs. But then if the government offers incentives and encourages electric zero-emission vehicles, then the cost can come down substantially. And it will be a good thing too for both environment as well as finding an alternative to fast running out and expensive fossil fuel.